The time has almost come. Maddox Slam is just around the corner, and I realize technically most of the other media talking about this event are referring to it as Summerslam. So some of you may be confused, but make no mistake about it. This event is and always will be referred to in the future as Maddox Slam, as it should be, in honor of our great Raw General Manager, Brad Maddox. You know you can have a show named after you when you are one of God's chosen ones, and more importantly, you have the Maddox. Heading into Maddox Slam 2013, there's quite a bit of anticipation built up inside of me. You know, a few weeks ago, I really wasn't looking all that forward to the pay-per-view, but over the last couple of weeks, I feel the WWE has done a very good job of getting me pumped up and excited for this event. Now, maybe they're getting me pumped up and excited for eventual letdown and disappointment, but there is a lot to like on the surface heading into this show. In this preview, I'm going to talk about the things that this show looks like it doesn't have on paper heading into the event on Sunday night, and I'm going to talk about the things that this show definitely does have going for it on paper right now heading into the event.
One thing this show don't have that it need to have is Mark motherfucking Henry. I don't care how you do it, WWE, even if you have to have him tag team with that Humpty Dumpty Big Show. Should be Mark Henry and Smokey as a tag team. Team Cheeseburger, fuck the world. Bottom line is, it's the big summer show. You need to have Mark motherfucking Henry on it. Find a way, WWE. Don't want to piss this big gray and sexy pussy off. You damn right.
One thing that Maddox Slam doesn't have are some, important names on the card. Ryback, the mighty have fallen very quickly. Fandango, somebody who was on the card at WrestleMania and even beat Chris Jericho, isn't even on the SummerSlam card at this point. You would have thought maybe they would have incorporated him into having some type of dance-off with a celebrity, which is something else that isn't really on this show as well, is some type of really big name or huge celebrity involvement. Not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing per se, I'm just saying that's something that this show doesn't have going for it heading into the event. You'll also notice no Curtis Axel, no Intercontinental Champion. That's kind of a little disappointing. I feel like he deserved a spot somewhere on the card. He's not even on the damn pre-show at this point in time. Randy Orton's not booked on the show, although you would have to anticipate, just because he's not booked doesn't mean he's not going to appear on Maddoxslam. You would have to think he will have some type of involvement in this show, undoubtedly in the main event. Christian versus Alberto Del Rio is not, to me, a really meaningful World Heavyweight Championship match. I just really don't care that much. Will I chuckle and laugh and enjoy Christian winning the World Heavyweight Championship if that's what happens? Yes, and I have my own reasons for that. But in terms of any storyline or feud between these guys, caring about the match, this card does not have a meaningful World Heavyweight Championship match for me at all. I talked about some of the things that this show is lacking, at least heading into it on paper. Let's talk about some of the things that this show does have going for it. If you're a fan of women's wrestling and you're a fan in particular of the WWE Divas, then you have to be ecstatic about this pay-per-view. Not only do you have a single Divas match between Natalya and Brie Bella, you've also got a mixed tag match, Dolph and Caitlyn versus Big E and AJ Lee. Now, do I necessarily personally care about either one of these matches? No. Do I think it's kind of stupid that yet again Dolph at a signature major pay-per-view takes back seat and plays second fiddle to women again? Yeah, I don't like that. However, he's still on the SummerSlam card, so he'll get a nice payout for that. If you are a fan of the Divas, Brie and Natalya, what's the only reason that they're booked on this card is because of the Total Divas show. But if I was running the WWE, I would be doing the same damn thing. I would be forcing those annoying-ass Bella sluts down your throat every chance I could. I'd be forcing Natalya down your throat every chance I could, even maybe to an even greater extent and a larger degree than the WWE is doing right now. Again, if you're a fan of Divas, if you're a fan of women's wrestling, you have to really like what you see from the WWE right now, and you should be excited at least somewhat about Maddox Slam. Another thing that this pay-per-view has going for it, which I always think is important for a pay-per-view to be really, really good, especially a Big Four pay-per-view, are mid-card matches that matter, that have stories, that have consequence, that have characters that you care about. and ultimately result in matches that matter and have consequence that you care about. You look at the Inferno match with Kane and Bray Wyatt. You know, if anything else, even though I don't necessarily believe that the story is progressed enough to have an Inferno match, and I do think it's relatively stupid to have an Inferno match where the ultimate goal is not to have somebody pinned, or set on fire, excuse me, you just have to have somebody pinned or submitted. I think that's a little silly. I cannot deny, however, is that you put that somewhere in the middle of the Maddox Slam card, and it's going to stand out. This is going to be different. It's going to be a different type of visual experience, both for the people watching there live and for the people watching on pay-per-view at home. You know, it's great. And you've got characters in Bray Wyatt that have been built up. In Kane, you know, obviously has a great name to him and a long history dating back to the Attitude Era in the WWE. This is a mid-card match that matters. One of the two matches that I'm most looking forward to on this pay-per-view, though, is Cody Rhodes versus Damien Sandow. Former on-screen best friends turned into rivals and enemies all over what happened at Money in the Bank with Sandow winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. Phenomenal stuff. I think the storyline's been done well. You've got a new direction for Cody Rhodes' character. This is magnificent. These are the type of matches that I love. The Cody Rhodes and the Damien Sandows and the Kanes and Bray Wyatt, because these are the matches that give your show substance and consequence throughout the entire 3 hours, not just one match in the middle and one match at the end, and that's it. That tends to make for a much more pleasurable viewing experience. It really does. On the surface, in theory, this show has two matches that could legitimately main event a Maddox Slam or a Survivor Series or a Royal Rumble or even damn near a WrestleMania on this card. And one of them, the Beast versus the Best, Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. This is a match that in a lot of ways, you could definitely make the argument could main event a major pay-per-view, and also, quite frankly, should main event a major pay-per-view. If they ended up having this be the main event of the show, it would be hard to complain about it. It would be hard to find a lot to gripe about or bitch about with it. It's not going to be, nor probably should it, but if they did, there's not a lot to be mad about. And this match has the possibility, to not be very good, but it also has a possibility to be really intriguing with a total contrast in styles between Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. Now, I would expect Brock Lesnar to win the match because CM Punk couldn't even beat God one-on-one. How is he going to beat Brock Lesnar, who beat God 2 out of 3 times? With that said, though, definitely a main event caliber match that's going to be the semi-main event on this show, which definitely helps the overall Maddox Slam card and profile, if you will. Styles make fights. That holds true in MMA, holds true in boxing, and to me, a lot of times it also holds true in professional wrestling and in the WWE. And you really have here a WWE Championship match, a legit main event WWE Championship match that has a lot of different components going for it. It has a lot of everything. It really does. You have contrasting personalities in John Cena and Daniel Bryan. You have contrasting viewpoints in John Cena and Daniel Bryan. You have contrasting fan bases in John Cena and Daniel Bryan. You have contrasting in-ring styles and in-ring abilities in John Cena and Daniel Bryan. What I'm thankful for with this match, first and foremost, is that they didn't turn Daniel Bryan heel. They left him be. And they made this instead a feud between two faces, but two faces that were aggressive, that stood their ground. This is good stuff. This is the type of match that should main event the summer's major pay-per-view. This is the type of match that your entire Maddox Slam card, so to speak, should be built around. And you've got other components sprinkled in as well. For God's sakes, you've got God as the guest referee. Now, I could say that Brad Maddox deserves to be the referee, but he's only Brad Maddox. He's not God. And you have to know that with Triple H being involved in this, something's going to happen. Some type of spin, some type of twist. We can all guess on what it is, but something is going to happen. Is this going to set up more for down the road between Triple H and Vince? Perhaps. Is this going to set up a Vince or Triple H heel turn? Perhaps. Is this going to be the night where Randy Orton comes out and cashes in his Money in the Bank chance and walks out the WWE champion to close the show? Perhaps. But an event a match, I should say, that has a lot going for it, just with the two principal components in John Cena and Daniel Bryan, then with other stuff sprinkled in. It's a match ripe with all types of possibilities where you could get a match of the year type candidate, and then with a shocking surprise finish that launches you through the rest of the summer and into the fall, heading towards Survivor Series. And even farther on down the road, if you're advancing the storyline between Triple H and Vince, this is starting to really plant the seeds for what could happen at WrestleMania. I mean, I love it. I think this is great. This is a major reason why I'm looking forward to SummerSlam, along with matches like Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. It's what the WWE is going to do here in this main event. What has to happen, what needs to happen, is Daniel Bryan must win and beat John Cena via making him tap out. That is the only acceptable finish to that particular match. Now, what happens afterwards if Randy Orton comes out and cashes in? If Triple H helps out on that? If Vince McMahon helps on that? It doesn't matter to me. But Daniel Bryan must beat John Cena 100% clean in the middle of that ring, and do it not via some bitch roll-up, not even via pinfall. He must make John Cena tap. Daniel Bryan's character has a lot of momentum going for it right now. And again, a company that traditionally over the past few years has missed opportunity after opportunity when they have momentum going, and they do the exact opposite of what they should do. See, the Nexus in 2010 is a perfect example. They have a chance here to get things right. Daniel Bryan must beat John Cena, and he must beat him via submission. You know, unless you had Randy Orton come out and cash in during the middle of the match, and then maybe that's a little different. That adds an interesting twist. But otherwise, Daniel Bryan needs to win. He must win, and he must win via submission. And I'm getting the big dog out for this one, even though he's a cat.
I'm going to say this one time, WWE. Daniel Bryan, fuck the world. Why? Because I said so. He better win. He better win via submission. Why? Because that's what he do. That's what he do. Daniel Bryan for the win. You damn right.